All right, man. Can Saddiq Bey be the Detroit Pistons' future power forward? Let's talk about it. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Had a hot start. Finally started hot. Got going. Took him to Grant to get out of there. Start really balling the way he should be balling. And like I said before, I think it was a shift in. I think it was the shift in. Not just Grant, but then when you had Grant and then you add another dominant scorer in K Cunningham, he just got lost in the sauce, and neither one of them kind of really been looking to pass at him the ball. And right now, the lineup they going with is Cassius Stanley, Derek Walton, guards at the five, who had a really good game versus the Spurs, 20 and 14. Then they got Bay at the four and Diallo at the three. And that's kind of where the league is kind of going to. It's kind of going to matchups. And really, the bigger they really, if you go small and have a little bit of success, they taking the they're taking the big guys off the floor and they matching up. And maybe the Pistons got some as far as with these small lineups. You know what I'm saying? As far as with Diallo's an under. That's really what he is. He reminds you of Corliss Williamson. Corliss Williamson was a undersized, like 3'4" ish. That's what he was. He was an undersized. He was an undersized 4 or 3. Um, but hold on. So yeah, he was 6'7". Yep, he was 6'7". You know what I'm saying? He was like an undersized 4. That's kind of who Diallo remind me of, bro. You know, this dude is one of them dudes that like to get to the rim, and one of them dudes who really like to do the dirty work, but just a little bit undersized. That's kind of who he remind you of. Somebody really get in there and do the dirty work. And his athleticism kind of got, Ward Williamson bond to, he became a better all around player. And that's Diallo kind of remind me of that. Somebody, kind of undersized, but really kind of do the dirty work. But if you look, I put this picture up, you look, as far as height, it ain't really a big height discrepancy between Jeremy Grant and Saddiq Bey. Even with him and Stewart, they look around the same height. Stewart a little bit taller than him, so I think today's league, I think he could get in there. You probably get away with him playing the 4. Jeremy Grant is truly really like if you're talking about in the league yesterday, he's really a 3. I think Jeremy Grant is around 6'9". He really a 3. But he's been playing at the 4. The days of KG and Tim Duncan being at 4s is over with. They calling them 5s today. Anthony Davis, the only one trying to still hang on to being a 4. Anthony Davis is a 5. By today's standards, he's a 5. The 4s today look like Tobias Harris. You look at guys like Tobias Harris. This is what a 4 look like today. Harris is around 6'8". Back in the day, Harris would be a 3. I mean, just let's look at the overall. John Collins, he's a 4 today. At 6'9", he's a 4. These are the 4s of the day. Look, Giannis is like, he plays more like a 3, but he's a 4, but he plays more like a 3. Who else do we look at? Who played a 4 for Milwaukee? I don't know. Bam is a 5. But back in the day, he would be a 4. Bam is like 6'9", bro. Yeah, he played a 5 there, but he like a 4. It's changing. Ain't too many dominant 5s no more. Everybody matching up and taking a 5 off the floor because nobody's dominating on the block. Like the Morris twins consider 4s today, and 6'8", they really 3s back in the day. People talking about it's positionless, and that's because they eliminated they eliminated the 5. They eliminated the real 4 and 5. They eliminated the 5. If we don't really have fives no more, then what the fours? Threes are shifting to the threes are becoming the fours, you know, and then the real threes are just becoming another two guard out there. You know, the Raptors. I don't know who they for. Probably like Pascal Siakam. You know what I'm saying? You know, 6'8", he really like, you know, he could be a four. That's what the four are going to, you know, compared to guys like Chris Webber, who was considered a four, 6'10", you know. You might think it's like an inch and an inch in height, but it's how he played the game. He played the game with his back to the basket. You know what I'm saying? A guy like Rasheed Wallace. You know what I'm saying? These were your fours back in the day. Even though he played some five, but when he came to Detroit, he was a forward. He played in Portland. He was a forward next to Arvydas Sabonis. You know, these guys were fours. You know, Tim Duncan became a four because David Robinson was there. You know, that's the only difference. You think a guy like Robert Orr, you know what I'm saying, stretching the floor for Shaquille O'Neal and even for Houston. You know, 16. You know, these kind of guys were, you know, it's kind of, you know, the fours of yesterday, and they changed. And it's not just the height; it's how they played the game. Weber had his back to the basket. You know, Weber had his back to the basket, and he, you know, and then he would do his 10 to 15 footer, you know, for them, and he would pass out the high post. That was Weber. You know, what will Weber be today? Weber would be, you know, the majority of what he was in his career at Michigan in high school. He would be a true five. But in that day, playing next to Vlade Divac, you know what I'm saying? You know, playing next to playing next to, you know, Ben Wallace. He did play next to Ben. I'm thinking about Rasheed, but playing next to those guys, you know, he was a four. He became a forward, Sacramento, a premier four. And really, you look at his numbers. He is from Detroit, by the way. So, and people say, well, he shouldn't be a Hall of Famer. I'm like, man, he's smoking crack. You know what I'm saying? You look at his numbers, and people don't understand how good he was, bro. Look at that. He averaged 20 points. Like, come on, man. 23 and 10 and a half, 24 and 10, 27 and 11, 24 and 10, 20 and 13. You know what I'm saying? 29. Dude, this dude was getting you a doubles all since he came to the league. You know, getting you doubles, man. In a day, he probably would have averaged over 30 religiously. You know, religiously. You know, more structure back in the day. So I think, you know, today the Saddiq Bey can do it. And what people don't know about Saddiq Bey is that he can post. He can post. You know, he can facilitate too. He can really play the three, but he can post. But the real thing for them is to get more veterans and to get a five and get a point guard. That's what they need. Point guard is a real rim defender. Maybe Luka Garza can turn into that with more athleticism. Who knows? Great question, bro. I think he can do it, bro. Getting stronger, you know, and they're really more the four stretching out. Grant was he was an attacking four. He was an attacking four. He was an attacking four. He basically was a three. So you got to make the decision that we gonna go with people gonna move Stewart to the four. That's still a problem. Stewart is a backup five. You know, because at the four he can't. What can he really do? He's just a dirty work guy. That's you play the four. You know, for so either you make the deciding factor at we got to find somebody like Gobert. You know, bring in Mitchell Robinson or Thomas Bryant when he come off injury. We're gonna put them at the five, and then we draft the Shaq or Pablo, whoever these other dudes is, and we're gonna put them at the four, and we gonna force people to really match up with us. We're gonna keep Bay at the three, Kate at the two, and find a one. You know, or you can say, you know what, we're gonna match up with what they do today. We can put Bay at the four, draft Shatter or whoever, put them at the five, and put Cade at the 3, find a point guard and find another 2 guard. They got options. They got options. They got options. They have options. Now, if you ask me what I would do, it depends on, your philosophy. But I'm always the guy that like to, here we go. I'm always the guy that like to beat the trend. That's me. I'm the guy that like to beat the trend. No, I don't want to go with the trend. I want to try to, how do you beat the 3-point shooting of the other day? You have to dominate small ball. You have to abuse them. You need somebody that's going to go on the inside and abuse. That's an honest trope. You need somebody that's going to, dominate the boards, athletic enough to get out there on, on the pick and roll and guard the perimeter. You need somebody that's going to dominate the paint. That's what you need. You need somebody that can do it. If you can find that guy at the 5, you can mix it. You can put him at the 5. You can put Bay at the 4. And you can if you can find another 4, that can, they do what you want to do. You can find it. That's the question. What are you looking at? Are you continue to go with the trend of positionless basketball? Or are you going to try to beat this positionless, stretched out, and, stretch the floor, shoot the 3 basketball? And I think you want to beat the trend and become the new trend. So the draft tell you that you probably can find you an athletic guy. You can put it to 5, get him bigger, stronger. And maybe you're looking for that guy. You're not kind of looking for the Gobert that can't go out there and get out there and defend. You're looking at somebody that can get out there, get to the perimeter, dominate the paint, not necessarily got to shoot 3s, but get out there and defend, pick and roll. So you probably want a hybrid, but if you can find that 5 and you can find a 4 that can do the same thing, cool. But I think probably going to end up with a guy like Jalen Durham, okay? Then you probably going to end up with a guy, maybe Bay at the 4, Cade at the 3, that still give you a lot of size there. Then you probably looking for your backcourt still. So number one priority after you fill somebody in the middle, is find you a facilitator. So, it's going to be interesting, man. But it's going to take some time. They got to get some veterans. But, yeah, I think Saddiq Bey can play the 4. You see Tobias Harris doing it. I think he get bigger, stronger. I think he's strong enough. I think they really ain't, a lot of people really ain't seeing that this kid can post up too. So that's the great thing about him. But hey, let me know what you girls and guys think. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Check Detroit Pistons Talk playlist out if you got a business question, inquiry, response, video request, all my social media subscription. Twitter's the fast way, and Facebook and Instagram. Check out Detroit Pistons Talk playlist. Want to make a financial donation? Cash App, CJ Good 313, Venmo, CJ Good 313, PayPal link in description. Appreciate the love, support. Time for the one-time piece. All right, I want you guys to go support Piston Mike. Y'all go to the subscribe button. He at 480 right now. Let's get him to 1,000, 100,000, 500,000, million subscribers as soon as possible, bid. Let's help him put it down. Make sure you go over there and subscribe. If you like the Pistons, you want to support me, think about sending me a donation. Best way you can help me right now is go subscribe over to Piston Mike and go help him get his numbers up, putting in work, hard work, smart work, dedicated work, consistent work. So make sure you go over there and appreciate that work. So remember, the name is Piston Mike, and I have a link in the description. If you have a problem finding it on YouTube, it'll be under source link or Piston Mike channel link in the description. Peace.